Well, Dr. Jeff Beaudoin has practiced and taught yoga for 15 years. He's known for these challenging classes.
Yeah,
We've talked to him
mentally,
before, yeah.
physically. Even though he's in better shape than most of us, certainly better than us, about a year ago he began experiencing pain from his eye to his hip to his foot. It turned out the pain stemmed from his neck.
He's here this morning. He joins us alongside Dr. Drew Drummond from Spinal Balance Health Center. Good morning to both of you.
Doctors.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, Dr. Beaudoin. We've talked to you a couple times in the past, and like we were saying, you're known for these yoga classes that are intense, they're difficult, and then you started experiencing some sort of symptoms. What were they, and how did this all begin?
Well, first of all, I want to say my yoga classes are intense, but they're doable. And, I mean, I think people get scared of it, right? Because people overreact, but I don't teach anything that's not approachable. It is challenging, but there's no growth without challenge.
Yeah.
So your question again, I'm sorry.
When did you start feeling these symptoms?
Oh yeah, about a year and a half ago. I'm 43 years old. I was in the best
picture of health.
Yeah, I was in the best shape of my life, and gradually I started having chronic pain on the right side of my body, just on the right side of my body, and I felt like I was a world-class athlete on the left side of my body, and I started feeling like I'm about 80 years old on the right side of my body. Well, I hope that's not what it feels like, because it's terrible. My body started twisting, and tremendous pain. I was diagnosed with trigeminal neuralgia. Felt like I was going blind in the right side of my eye. My right hip was going out. I had one leg shorter than the other. And being a yoga practitioner and working so hard on the mat, I just figured I could fix it, because I'm an alignment-based teacher, and I'm actually known worldwide for being an alignment-based teacher, and it almost got to be embarrassing in a sense, but the pain just got worse and worse and worse, and I started seeing all these different therapy modalities, and nothing helped.
What happened once you visited Spinal Balance Health Center and Dr. Drummond? What did you notice?
Well, I should say I'd seen a cranial, I wrote this down because I couldn't remember. I mean, over the year and a half, I saw cranial sacral therapy, massages, physical therapy, neurologists, two other chiropractors, an eye doctor, oral surgeon, and copious prayer and meditation, because this is my whole career, it's my whole life, and my business hangs on my health. And I went to see Dr. Drew because the previous chiropractors I'd been seeing said that my atlas bone was off. They kept saying, your atlas bone is off, your atlas bone is off. I'm like, well, fix my atlas bone.
Right, take care of that.
Every time, and I'm seeing a chiropractor 3-4 days a week, and she kept saying, yeah, your atlas bone's off, and then they'd make these adjustments. So I did my own research on the atlas bone, and that's how I found Dr. Drew. I called him, I talked to him, we got along great. He's very personable, he's very educated, and I like his approach, because he'll educate you on what to expect and how it works. He's very good one-on-one, great bedside manner. And I went in to see him, and the first time you go in, he does these x-rays, and it's very, very scientific. It's very, very math-based, which I really liked. They go all different angles, and they analyze you according to like geometry and trigonometry. It's very scientific, so it's impressive. And he comes in and he says, this is exactly what's going on, and this is why your symptoms are the way. This is the first time anybody's looked at it from a scientific perspective for me. And so the next time I come in, he knows exactly what he's going to do in terms of an adjustment for you. He's got the math. It seems like magic, but it's not. It's science. And it's very, very gentle. So he puts you at a certain angle, and he lets gravity and energy do the work based on the analysis that they discovered via that. So the first time he did it, barely touches you. And I said, I'm not paying you for this.
He did. He's not lying. I thought he was joking.
And I meant it. I'm
like,
like,
he was serious.
I've spent $4,000 out of pocket for all these different
all that other
therapies.
stuff, yeah.
And there's different therapies that are aggressive and they're extensive. And this guy goes, just touches you barely. And don't get me wrong, I thought this is smoke and mirrors. I stood up, and I had an emotional release, and he had me walk across the room, and I walked back, and I started crying, because I hadn't felt, It was that quick.
Immediate.
Wow.
Immediate.
That's incredible.
That quick.
Dr. Drummond, I'd love for you to explain to our viewers who are new to
Yeah.
this idea of Nuka Care why it is that all of these symptoms he experienced trace back to this bone and how something so gentle could be this effective.
Yeah, at the top of the neck, there's a video that we've got that shows how the nervous system works. Nerve impulses from the brain travel down through the brain stem and the spinal cord out to the body and vice versa. And you can see how the flow of nerve impulses goes out to the body from this video. But up at the top of the neck, there's a bone that when misaligned interferes with the entire system. And one of the problems that occurs is that it interferes with posture controlling muscles to the back. There's another picture that you can show that shows how the body will go off balance. I don't know if they've got that video.
I don't know that we do.
Yeah, don't even worry about it. We're running out of time. But the nerves that don't control the muscles properly will then throw the posture off, and it can cause all kinds of nerve symptoms. What he has, but a number of other ones. Yeah.
And again, it's a general procedure.
Yeah.
People in the prime of their lives in great fitness can experience these, and so anybody can.
People think good exercise and diet will do it for them.
Yeah.
And Dr. Beaudoin is a great example of how that is not true. If you have problems with basic functions of your nervous system, it doesn't matter how much you exercise or what your diet is doing, those problems with your nervous system will override whatever else you're doing. Because you look at some of his videos, you see his physique,
He's in
he's
amazing
in shape.
condition.
And this problem that he has, it affected him differently than it does other people. I don't think I've had 2 patients in the last 8 years that have presented the same way.
Wow.
But there are some more common than others. Neck pain, back pain, headaches are very common. And it's all correctable as long as you get to the underlying problem.
Find out if you are a candidate for care. The first 15 people who call Dr. Drummond's office get a consultation and exam and x-rays for just $50. And he does that for us because he's been joining us on the show for a couple of years, and he's a generous fella. So you'll find him online at spinalbalancehc.com. And the phone number is 452-3400. He's also on Facebook if you'd like to learn more about this idea of Nuka Care, just like Dr. Beaudoin did, looking it up online, educate, and it very well could change your life the way it did his.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your story today.
Doctor.
We appreciate it. And
Yeah,
Dr.
good to see
Drummond,
both
good to
Thank
see
you for
again.
having us.
Hey, you betcha.